Listen, is anybody checking up on the Americans? I think they're losing the plot. They are convinced, I don't know if you guys have seen it, they are convinced that a rapture is going to happen on the 23rd of September. The sky's going to open up and they're going to go zoop into heaven.
When you finally start moving up into the air, I recommend that you don't hold on to anything. I definitely don't recommend looking down. I think we learned that lesson from Lot's wife.
So today had to have been the worst day of my life. The other day I sold my truck to get ready for the rapture. Then last night, I gave away everything that was in my savings account.
As many of you know, the rapture's on Tuesday. I've given away all my earthly possessions to the heathens that I know will not be coming with us, the chosen ones.
Hi, I'm reporting to you live from Denver, Colorado. It is 9:16 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. I can confirm that I have not yet been raptured. I've got my window open just so they can see me. From what I've seen, I haven't seen anyone lifting off just yet, but it is raining. It's hard to tell. I drove by one of the middle schools. It looked as though everyone was there, but frankly, I don't know if that's because it hasn't happened yet or if it's because they all got left behind because of developmental defiance. I don't know.
So I have to come on here and say that I willingly gave up custody of my 6 kids to CPS because of the rapture. Before you guys come for me in the comments, you have to think about this logically. When the rapture comes and I get lifted up, who's going to take care of my children? CPS. I'm honestly just preparing. I want to be a responsible parent, and that's why I did what I did. My kids are signed over, paperwork is done. I gave them a hug, I gave them a kiss, and I told them that I will miss them. Now, if the rapture does not happen, I'm not going to fight for custody of them. This was in God's plan. God put this in my mind to give up my children, and I just, went with what God was telling me. Sorry, but when Jesus pulls up, I didn't want to be caught left behind because I'm cutting grapes for my fucking 3-year-old. You can call me selfish if you want, but I call that faith-based planning. My kids will be in better hands, and I know I'll see them once again when we are all together in heaven. Because if they are meant to be with me, then, we'll meet each other again. Being in foster care is not going to stop that.
Greetings, my lovely people, and welcome back to my channel. So imagine believing that tomorrow could be your last day here on earth and acting on that belief by selling all your possessions, your car, your house, and even your businesses. That sounds extreme, right? So that is exactly what happened recently. A group of Christians around the world, both in South Africa and the United States, they prepared for what they believe was a rapture. That is the end of the world. That Jesus would come and take the faithful believers and leave everybody else behind. So this was predicted by a certain pastor in South Africa. This is shocking, but it's also a striking example of how powerful and dangerous religious influence can be when it crosses the line into manipulation. So let's have a look, then we come back with a commentary, okay? And if you're new here, please consider subscribing so you never miss any update from my videos. Let's dive into it.
My husband wanted me to request off work for September 23rd. So I requested off and it was denied. And I wasn't stressing about it. But Thursday in the car, I prayed and I asked God, whenever the rapture happens, whether it is next week, next month, next year, can you please just arrange things where I can be home with my family when it happens? About 4 hours later, I was fired.
So today had to have been the worst day of my life. The other day I sold my truck to get ready for the rapture. Then last night, I gave away everything that was in my savings account. I woke up this morning and I was still here. I was severely disappointed and devastated. Then I had to fucking Uber to fucking work. Been at my job for 25 years, and I have never in my life been late. It's the first time I've ever been late in my life to work. And my boss asked me, "Why are you late?" And I had to explain to him that I no longer had my truck, that I sold it. And he asked me what was the reason. Why would you sell your truck? And I had to tell him that I sold it because I thought I was going to be taken up in the rapture today, and I had to come to fucking work. He fucking laughed at me. Told me I got some overtime for you. This life fucking sucks.
I've already transferred the deed to my house. I just need to give this car away. None of this material stuff is going to matter on Tuesday, the 23rd, when I get raptured. And I just want to say, it's not too late for you to be a part of the rapture.
Honestly, this is like my third or fourth failed rapture, and I'm a little bit bummed. Frankly, I was really looking forward to this one, but it appears yet again that God was telling the truth in the Bible, and we will not be able to predict the day or the time that it happens because it is Wednesday and we are still here. Like I said before, Lord, I'm ready. I know it is your time, your will. I just want you to know I'm ready whenever you are, okay? Don't hesitate on my behalf because I'm ready to go home. This is my third or fourth failed rapture, and I don't write them in my diary. I've lost track of how many exactly because they tend to be a total buzzkill, okay? But yet again, here we are stuck in the ghetto while everybody else is up in heaven walking the streets of gold. Lord, come back anytime. It's fine. It doesn't have to be a Tuesday. It could be a Thursday. It could be right now. I'm like, do y'all hear trumpets? Like, anytime, Lord, anytime is fine. I'm so ready to go home.
My goodbyes to my family because Jesus is coming back tomorrow is my whole For You page. If you are scared, that's okay. But as a Christian, let me tell you why that's not happening tomorrow and why you're okay. For starters, the rapture is not and will never be planned out for humans to know. That's not something we will ever know. Ever. Period. Second of all, most importantly, if it causes you fear, anxiety, depression, that's not from God. If a word of God causes you fear, anxiety, or depression in any aspect of your life, that's from something deceiving you, not God. Because God will never, ever, ever cause you fear, anxiety, or depression.
I just want to know who canceled the rapture. Okay? Here I was thinking no more bills, no more inflation, no more tariffs, none of that, no more traffic. And then this morning, traffic, bills, inflation, tariff. Who the hell canceled the rapture? Huh? And then the nerve of them. What happened to no one knows the day or the hour? Here I was thinking yesterday was the rapture. Huh. These people.
Hey, to the person who sold me their car on September 21st, if this is September 24th and the rapture didn't happen, you're not getting your car back.
I just sold my car for the rapture tomorrow. I said goodbye to my wife and my baby. I'm so excited. I'm kidding. If you did any of those things, you are about to learn the biggest lesson God could ever teach you. And that is the discerning of spirits. Let's get into it. In the book of Jeremiah, chapter 14, verse 14, it says, "And the Lord said to me, the prophets are prophesying lies in my name. I did not send them, nor did I command them or speak to them. They are prophesying to you a lying vision, worthless divination, and a deceit of their own minds." Back in 2020, I used to get tons of rapture dreams. Everything lined up, the math lined up, it was insane. I was so deep into the rabbit hole, and then it didn't happen. What did that do to me? Well, I immediately practiced cognitive dissonance, and I pushed it back. Oh, it's going to happen later. Oh, it's going to happen later. But after a few months, I was like, Edgar, you're kind of stupid. Like, you've encountered the Spirit of God before. He's healed you. You've heard the voice of God. Like, you've had crazy God encounters. But this is stupid. The mind is extremely powerful. God created it for a purpose. But sometimes when we renew our minds with something that may not necessarily be true, what happens is when we see things that confirm those preconceived notions and biases and beliefs in our mind, all it does is reaffirm that belief. So the rapture's tomorrow and the next day. I don't know why it's in 2 days. I guess it's split into two, I guess. When it doesn't happen, okay, I want to please hear my heart. Like be gracious with yourself, be soft with yourself, but know that you might have fallen for a deceiving spirit, okay? And brother Joshua, this guy right here, is a false prophet. He literally said, and I quote, "We will see on that day who God backs up, you or me." He said that verbatim. So we got to call it as it is. And when the rapture doesn't happen, you'll be able to know that all of those visions and dreams of the rapture that you had in your mind were from a false spirit.
God is going to expose a lot of false prophets tomorrow because it was said that the rapture is supposed to take place tomorrow. But what people need to understand is God is not a man that he shall lie, neither is he the son of man to repent. Why would God tell a man or a woman the day that the rapture is supposed to take place when he is the only one that knows? Because there will be no rapture tomorrow. It's important to have a relationship with God. It's important that you seek God for yourself, because the devil knows how to manipulate the minds of those who are not in their word. So for those that has walked in fear these last few weeks, last couple of months, you are being deceived. And for those that believe that the rapture will take place tomorrow, if you have gone into a place where you are trying to get yourself together before the Lord returns, your heart is not in the right place, and that alone is not pleasing to God. It shouldn't take something like this for you to feel like you got to get yourself together spiritually with God. Because the truth is, the Lord said that he's going to return like a thief in the night. It's going to be when you least expect it. So take it for what it is. When tomorrow comes and there is no rapture, don't make excuses for the false prophets who said it. Take it for what it is, a lie. And know that a familiar spirit spoke to them and not the Spirit of God, because the word tells us that the words of God will never fall to the ground.
Okay, so after September 24th, can we stop calling Christianity a religion? Like, I've been through this so many times in my life. Do you guys remember 2012? Do you guys remember how crazy 2012 was? And then all the things that happened in the 90s, I think it happened again a couple years later after 2012. Like, at what point do we, one, call them on their bullshit, and two, stop letting them hide their delusions behind religion?
Listen, to all the people who truly believe that they were going to be raptured up on the 23rd and the 24th, my personal opinion is that if they get dragged, they deserve it. And if you drag them, don't feel bad. But also remember that these people were so deluded that many of them gave up their homes, sold their material possessions, quit their jobs, gave away money. That makes for a very unstable combination. So make sure out here to keep your head on a swivel. The only people that I truly feel sorry for in this situation are the children. The children didn't ask for this. And they usually are the first victims in this religious psychosis. But no, don't feel bad dragging these folk, because I remember watching these videos and they were so arrogant in their self-righteousness. We are going to ascend to heaven and escape the hellscape that we made in all accountability, while leaving you heathens down here on this earth. We're going to leave you tips. We're going to make videos for you to play so that you'll know what's coming as we float away on our clouds with our harps, looking up at the Lord. Yeah, drag their ass. But also be careful, and in your day-to-day, keep your head on a swivel.
All right, so here it is. I told y'all if I wake up today and the rapture didn't happen, I would come on here and make an apology. I was wrong about the rapture, which last time I checked is not a sin. Sometimes it's good to be wrong. Sometimes it's good to be humbled, and I'm very humble now. I guess God wasn't sending me messages about the rapture through license plates on cars. I guess those were just random cars that I was seeing and trying to apply meaning to the numbers and letters on the license plates. I guess God didn't have me quit my dream job and move across the country to a state that I loathe just to get me fired from that job so I could be at home with my family for the rapture this week. I guess it wasn't really God speaking through me when I was crying and screaming and speaking in tongues about the rapture coming. Just fine, no harm done. I mean, I scared my kids, and now I have to get my cat back from my atheist neighbor, but no real harm done. Or it was a test. God was testing me, like Job from the Bible. I'm Job. I'm like Job from the Bible. He made me humble so I could be a main character from the Bible. And this was all a test, the way he tested Job. Me losing my job and all of my friends and any standing I had in the professional world was just like Job losing all of his things to show that he had faith in God. God was just testing me. So when the real rapture does come, he knows that he can count on me to lead his flock to the heavens. God needs me to continue going viral on TikTok predicting raptures because the real rapture was the friends we made along.
Yo, so allegedly, the dude who started the whole rapture fiasco within the Christian community is a pastor from South Africa named Joshua. He went online or like a TED Talk or something and was like, yo, I had the vision. God is talking to me. He told me that the rapture is coming on the 23rd to the 24th. And that's how everybody got into the frenzy. Tell me why this man just released a video apologizing, saying he was wrong about the rapture. Mind you, the people that's still in the time zone of within the time frame he gave, they still waiting. I guess since he in South Africa, the deadline up. And he literally came online and apologized, looking so embarrassed, head down. He was like, I didn't tell y'all specifically when I just told y'all eventually, allegedly. That ain't right. And it's the false prophets they be talking about, y'all. So he got these people selling their cars, their homes. Some people get their kids or their CPS. All in the name of the great rapture. He got to answer to somebody. But who? Them? They finna be big mad when they see this video. And most of them is fasting from the internet. So they're not even finna see that video, the apology video. They probably in there waiting. Bruh.
You know, what you're witnessing here is a form of blind faith, you know? It's a form of brainwashing. Some pastors can exploit the deepest fears and hopes of their followers to control their behavior, convincing them to make extreme and sometimes devastating decisions, like the way you've seen selling your possessions, abandoning your responsibilities, and living in constant fear of a prophesied end. And I was shocked that this is happening also in the United States, because I was thinking this only happens in Africa. If you know of a scenario that happened of a certain pastor in Malindi here in Kenya, he brainwashed his followers into fasting, you know. He told his followers to go and fast in the forest. That could speed up the process of going to see Jesus, you know. They would die faster and go and meet Jesus. And people believed him. Children, women, men, you know. They all went to the forest to fast. And guess what happened? They all died. And people were being discovered in the forest in mass graves, you know. Over 400 people died in the forest. The bodies were being discovered and everybody was shocked. We could not even believe our eyes, you know. And I know many people died. It's not even 400. Maybe some were even eaten by animals, by wild animals. So this is how dangerous religion brainwashing can happen to somebody. You know, religion in its purest form, it's supposed to guide, you know, to uplift and to inspire. But when it becomes a tool to control people, you know, it can destroy lives. It can destroy families and communities. So this is a harsh reminder to people that faith should always be accompanied with critical thinking, you know. Don't just believe anybody, any stranger just like that. Don't believe whatever your pastor is saying. Use your mind and ask yourself, is this the right thing? You know? So blind obedience may feel comforting in the moment, but it can leave lasting consequences when people are being misled. Don't just follow or believe any pastor blindly, you know? We must question, we must think, and above all, we should not let anyone weaponize our belief against us. So I hope these Christians are going to open up their mind, you know, and realize whatever is happening, it's such a blind faith, you know. There's nothing like that. Jesus is not coming to take anybody in this world. You see, the moment you die, that's when your world is going to end, you know. There's nothing like the world will come to an end. The world is not coming to an end. The minute you die, your world, okay, your own world, your self-world, it ends. So don't let any pastor manipulate you into believe that Jesus is coming for you. Nope. Yes, believe in God, but don't just follow these fake pastors blindly, because they're all over, you know. They can brainwash you to sell everything, to give them all your money. There's also a scenario here in Kenya. A pastor misled a woman to give him like a 3 million. And she did all that, you know. But whatever she was being promised, it didn't happen. So like she ended up going to court, and the pastor was being charged with false manipulation. So those cases are so many here in Africa. So people should just be careful and use their mind to think what is right and what is wrong, okay? Thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Have a good one. I'll see you in the next video.